Irritated. Right. I'll go, yeah? Shall I leave the door open or?
Yes, that's good.
Let me check the mail.
Wat nou? Underneath?
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Up. I don't know. I think Flo is glad to get rid of me today. I don't know. I just have a suspicion that she wants me out. All right, Tuco. Yeah. I'm gonna have to leave that there. Let's go. Let's go. I'll do that when I come back. Yay, you fella. The 10th of May. That's what it is. The 10th of May. Sunday. What a wintry day it is today. It's 5:30 and it has rained non-stop. It's stopped now, kind of, but it's been raining all day, quite heavy. But there's lovely smells now. I'll let you go. And as I'm looking toward Lure, there's a lovely kind of misty, almost translucent, low clouds. Very atmospheric looking. I haven't seen it like that before. It's like if you penciled in the mountains of Lure very, very lightly behind the village of Lure. Allez, Tuco. I think Tuco wants to do his job, his business. It's also cold. And today I've been on the computer kind of early, and I've been uploading audio files like I have been planning to do for some time. And it's like a perfect day to upload stuff. And these audio files, they're like, if it's an hour long, it can be about 200 megabytes. So I can do it from home. You know, takes a while, but it's possible. So I've been very quickly knocking out these sketching thumbnails and then trying to upload these files in some kind of chronological order. And at the moment I'm uploading stuff from the middle of January, which is really when all this recording started. I mean, I've been recording before that, but this is kind of when it started properly to become almost a daily occurrence. It's when I got the lapel mic. Funny thing about that is I don't remember that process. I guess I always wanted one of those mics, and then one night I just ordered one, I suppose. And it came and it didn't work on various things. And it worked on the Lenny, and it was like, it was a big thing for me back in mid-January, and that's when I got it. Obviously it must have been the 22nd of January. No, the 20th, something like that. because that's when I'm testing it for the first time. I can hear myself doing the first tests with the Lenny. And then at a very similar time, I must have got the Philips voice recorder. Must have been literally almost in the same week. Because I've got lots of recordings from that thing from the 23rd, 24th, 25th. Maybe they were the first recordings on it. So I'm uploading everything. And drawing a little individual picture for each upload. It feels like the thing to do. So I need to be careful about becoming obsessed about such things. You know, I could find myself getting very irritated because I can't find a specific thing, or I did something and I don't know what the date was because I didn't say. I could see myself going down that road, and in this day and age when you have so many ways of recording things, video or audio, and if you're like me and you have a tendency to, like, you know, lately I'm doing this type of thing every day, you build up quite a collection, and it can get to be a gigantic pain in the ass if you're trying to organize it, and things are not easy to find. Like this thing I'm using, it doesn't show any date or time or anything on it, so I have to just say the date and time when I turn it on, but I haven't always done that like that straight away. So trying to listen to some of these old ones last night that I'd done from the beginning of the year, let's say, that it's a real pain because I don't say the date straight away. So I'm listening thinking, please tell me what the date is, because I have no idea from the file. Anyway, I need to be laid back with this stuff, seriously. It's no joke, because I do find myself getting obsessed about, you know, is there another file? Is there a file that goes back before the 20th of January, or the 19th of January? That's my, no, the 18th. See what I mean? I actually found something from the 18th when I'm leaving the Connemara to go get Tuco. And I'm wondering now. No, I remember that. I remember that day. It was this digital thing I had with me because I left it on in the car, and I have a memory of seeing the little red light. So no. But that's a good example of an obsession that can become just too much when I'm trying to think, was that this recorder I'm using now, or was it the Philips one that I'm using, that I have? Which one was I using? And that can bother me, and that's kind of getting into danger territory, I think. Like last night, I mean, I went through all the storage devices we have to see if there was anything at all that I'd missed from 2020, any audio file that I'd missed. And then I find other ones which I've stored on the SD card. That's where all the other audio files were, and I was wondering about them. I couldn't find them anywhere else. But they're there and they won't be deleted. They're ones from 2012. From Estée Blanc, places like that. 8 years ago. 8 cheers. I hadn't stopped drinking yet. Yeah, it can get a kind of a weird kind of addictive kind of stuff. It starts messing with you. Is there any other files that I've missed? Should I now start doing some other uploads from the 2012 stuff? Even though it's all kind of nonsense, you know. Allez, Tuco. If I was to be able to do them just in a very carefree way, then it's fantastic, because it's quite fun doing the picture for the thumbnail. And on a day like today, when there's nothing more to do, so it's great. It's a great way to pass the time, to be going through these files and uploading them. You know, it's like this is the perfect time for doing that. And I know I've got those other files, they're all safe. Wow, it's somebody driving a car. 150 miles an hour up there. I know I've got those other 2012 files, they're all safe on a backup somewhere. Well, not somewhere, I know exactly where they are, because I went through them all last night. I listen back to this sometimes, and I'll tell you that right now. My head is in a bit of a spin with audio files. And it's not all that pleasant, really. It's, like I said, it's very easy to slip into... Somebody's driving very fast somewhere. Very easy to slip into a state where the whole audio thing becomes not fun anymore. And I don't want that to happen, because I'm kind of enjoying the process of uploading them bit by bit, and I want to get to February and March and April. And I like the look of the website with these pictures, the YouTube site, just with nothing else, just these type of uploads. I actually deleted all the other stuff that was on the account. Good boy, Tuco. Which was just a couple of recordings I'd made in Ireland, in my mother's house, looking at a movie. I wanted to clear any evidence of myself. I just want this to be an anonymous channel. But now I'm thinking, should I really have deleted all those things? Because I didn't, and I actually cleared the outbox. The outbox, not called the outbox, the bin. So they're gone as far as I'm aware now. Those 4 or 5 videos I had there. Actually, there's a live one as well, I think. Let's check that. Me and Flo changing the Connemara sign. Yes, I'm going to delete that as well, if I haven't done it already. Yeah, I don't mind. I think it's nice to... it was a channel just waiting for me to transform it into this life. That's what that was. I'm going on and on about this. It's just playing on my mind a little bit. And it's a malady that I suffer with. When some little thing like this can start getting on your nerves, you don't quite know why. I'm doing exactly what I set out to do. I just need to try and enjoy this stuff and not take it too seriously. I think I get very serious about some of these projects. I need to do with what's there, do it bit by bit. I've done plenty today. I don't need to do any more. I can leave them. And I can upload a few more tomorrow or next day or next week. Doesn't matter. They're all waiting. There's no rush. And there will be a big chunk of me out there somewhere. There'll be many, many hours of me talking out there on the internet airwaves. And they're all open to the public, all in the public domain. If anybody wanted to listen and try and figure out what the fuck is going on with this guy. Well, that's what I've been doing today. I got a very mild kind of headache. And because of this weather and my Flo spent the last couple of hours in bed, it really is a day of hibernation, kind of slightly gloomy. I've missed my turn off to the fucking river. I got so into... It's not into the talking. My mind is just really occupied with this fucking audio stuff, so I completely passed the place that I'd normally turn off to the river. Let's go this way, Tuco. We're going to go back the other way. We're going around it the other way. We're going to go into the river at the electricity pylon, which is right beside me here on my left side. Tuco. It's a sleepy day. That'd be a way to put it. It's a sleepy day. But in general, I feel quite good today, besides this fucking... almost like an obsession with this stuff, this audio stuff. Crazy. Other than that, and it has given me something to do, man. The last 2 hours I've been doing that. It's been great. Without having that to do, I'm not sure what I would have been occupied with. I might have been quite bored. But it's a really gloomy, dark day. I can understand that there's a lot of people cocooning today. But I don't mind. I think it's cool. It's like I said, creates lots of wonderful smells. The water and the grass and the muck. And the birds. So now I'm going back the opposite way to where we normally go. We're heading down from the electricity pylon to the riverbed, and then we're going to come back and hopefully the rain is not going to create any problem in getting back the way we normally do. Shouldn't imagine. So when we go back home, then it'll be after 6. The days are so fast. I get up so late that if I get up and get stuck into something like I did today, and now I'm walking Tuco, it's like I get back, it's 6:30, and then we're gonna cook something, we're going to cook something. I'm having it pee, trying to have it very silently into the grass. We're going to cook something, and then you know, it's 7, and then it's 8, and then it's getting dark. Can't kind of emphasize how quick a day like today goes. I mean, of course, I'm not finished or anything because I stay up into the early hours. Of course, it would be very weird if I went to bed early. Can you imagine if I was going to bed at like 1 o'clock, or let's say 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was getting up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon? It would be me sleeping for 12 hours every day. Got to keep an eye on the batteries. The battery is down to 2 bars in this thing, and it's my digital thing here, and it's also down, I think, to 1 bar in the Philips recorder. Could be listening back to these things in the future, kind of wondering what was that Philips recorder? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I can't emphasize how quick a day like this goes. I get up, I'm messing around with these audio stuff on the computer, I go for a walk or two, going bang, it's night time. We eat, Flo watches a couple of episodes of Friends, she goes to bed, and I'm there, and I'm kind of on my way to going to bed as well. It's like so fast. Well, Tuco, what do you think? You want to have a drink? There's plenty of little puddles of water around today, huh? Like where I'm walking, the water's not too far underneath my feet. It's just about a foot below all these stones and things. There's a river. So how is it doing here, the river? Yeah, it's a bit more, not much. And we are going up this way. I hardly ever come this direction. The kind of lockdown as we know it kind of ends tomorrow in France. Not that we're starting up work again or anything, but tomorrow's the 11th and they've implemented new guidelines, which I've probably mentioned many times already, but the big one is that you can travel within, I think, 100 miles of your house. And for me, it'll mean I'll be able to go backward and forward to Horizon without any problems. I really want to get a mask, though. I think it's fair enough wearing a mask. I'm not going to have any stubbornness against that. And I think it's something can make me and make other people feel comfortable as well. When they see you wearing a mask. You alright, Tuco? Lots for Tuco to sniff around in this damp weather. Yeah, so that happens tomorrow. So now I'm leaving the river bank this way. How about that, Tuco? That's a change. It's an interesting time watching. I wish I'd bookmarked it. One of these American news channels basically doing a collage of all the things that the way Trump has been handling this virus epidemic since either late January maybe or February. And it was fascinating to see at the beginning when there was no deaths in America and hardly any cases, and to hear Trump talk. And then it went to the next day and the next day, and it was about a 10-minute video. And it was fascinating to watch Trump talking when there's, let's say, 50 cases and no deaths, and he's very kind of nonchalant about the whole thing. And I remember myself watching news programs and stuff, and back then it was hard to believe that thing, because it kind of goes so slow. It's hard to believe you were ever going to get to any high figures, but we did. And you could, watching him speak, quick little clips of him, everything he's been saying for the last 3 months, you really get a sense of, I guess, the lack of any real control or maybe even organization from people, not just Trump. And a lot of that is down to the fact that this is just out of the blue, very difficult thing to handle anyway. I wouldn't like to point the finger too much at politicians and doctors and people. I think they're doing their best. But Trump just came across like someone that didn't really give a shit. I think that was kind of the overall view. And kind of in denial of so much. And now in America it's 70,000 deaths. And that's so bizarre to watch that little clock ticking. You have 1 death and 4 deaths. And you're saying, well, this is the end of March. In the space of the next 3 weeks, that's going to jump from like 100. You're going to be up to tens of thousands. And at the moment, it's very interesting because no one really knows the way people are going to rejoin society when they're given the all clear to go back to work. And how are the older people going to carry on their lives with this threat? And is there a chance that it's all going to start again very quickly and easily, or has it been an overreaction? Has it been an overreaction? It's hard to imagine it's been an overreaction when you see the amount of people that got infected. Could you possibly say that less people, not less, but that the infections would have just kind of run along the same lines even without the lockdown, because that's the way these things work? Or it sure does seem logical to think there would have been a lot more infections. I mean, you'd be adding a couple of zeros onto all the numbers if life had gone on as normal. It's interesting to see what way people will go back and what way the economy will have changed. How long those changes will last. Personally, I think everything will be totally back to normal. If not sooner, then later. It might take a while. But this notion that we're going to get away from this fucking obsession with production, as somebody wrote, the idea that we'll get away from all these people in, let's say, Ireland are, going to Pennies every day to buy crap every day. The idea that those habits will change, I don't think so. I can't see it. Unless there's a second and a third wave, and it's just like we really we have to stop flights and stuff, not for months but for years. Overproduction of things. Anyway, this has been a slightly obsessive audio about audio, and then I tried to just tell you a little bit about the state of play on this day, May the 10th, and also about the speed of the days and how we're, in a few days we'll be in the middle of May already. And I guess for me personally, I like this particular status quo. I don't like the fact that people are sick, and I'd be lying if I didn't say that it's a scary prospect, the prospect of catching something like that for me. But I'm also aware that without any epidemic, there's still a scary prospect of catching things. It doesn't have to be that. Just because this thing, when the vaccine comes along, doesn't mean we're all going to live to be 100 and no one's going to get sick again. This particular virus is one thing. Unfortunately, there's so many fucking things that are even worse than the virus. Really seriously worse. That disease that John has, the motor neuron disease, I think still tops the fucking list. I can't imagine anything worse. And then you've got all kinds of cancers which can shut you down and give you a pretty fucking miserable end. And these things they're not contagious, not in the same way. And they don't make the headlines. But every year, thousands, hundreds of thousands. In fact, most people that die, I guess, that die of these things, there's like a handful of things that end up killing everyone. So just because this coronavirus goes out of the news and maybe out of circulation, and maybe there is a vaccine, it doesn't change the fact that there go I, but for the grace of God. Some kind of a little explosion in an artery in the brain could always be just moments away. We just don't fucking know. That heart attack, that stroke could be just around the corner. Those things, especially when it comes to strokes, they can't even fucking check to see if, So yeah, this is just one thing, but I guess you got to keep things in perspective. I don't mind going back to work. Don't really even call it work. It's just a way of making some money. And although I feel a sense of gloom and doom sometimes, and when I think ahead, all I can think of is working in the Connemara, and as good as it gets, and nothing much more there. Tuco, stop! 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 But I'm also aware that that magic, that highness of spirit, that can also come around just out of nowhere as well. And it can transform your whole, there we go, it can transform the whole circuit board in an instant, and things are all looking good then. Like when I walked to the Connemara the other day and I was going to meet Flo. See, I practically flew in. I was just I was really vibrant, that's the word. Allez, Tuco! I look forward to those moments, and I know they always come. And so I'm not pessimistic. I can be just pessimistic for today, but tomorrow's another day. And even in one day, mood can go up. I could start playing Transport Fever and a new map and start having a wonderful time. What I got to do now, I got to put the bin out and check the mail. And then I got to eat something. I don't know what though. We've got beans. I may have another burger. Beans and fried potatoes. I guess. Allez, Tuco. Ooh, there's a snail. And another snail. Wow, there's lots of snails out, Tuco. Be careful. Don't stand on the snails. They love this kind of after the rain weather. Up. After the rain weather. Emptying bin. That's a familiar sound, isn't it? And then, that's a familiar sound, isn't it? And even another familiar sound. Hey, that's familiar. Yeah, for fuck's sake. And that's familiar. Disappointment sound of nothing. Sometimes it's nice to get a letter. I'd like to order something else now. It's one of my little joys in life I have, is when I'm waiting for an Amazon order. It doesn't matter how small it is. You know, it doesn't matter if it's a £2 adapter. I just like getting something in the mailbox. Oh, my feet are soaking now after going through the grass. So, approaching home. Here we are. Tuco's paws are wet. Oh, did Flo not stop? Let Flo clean you with the towel. Wow, the ground is wet. I can see his footprints all over the place.
Yeah. Qu'est-ce que tu te mouilles pas? On va chercher la serviette.
Stay. Flo's getting the towel. Stay.
Oh, dun, 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 dun.
He's not really, it's just his paws. There wasn't that much. My feet got wet. It's okay, it's not. Oh, that's all going to sound stupid. Sorry about the diddy-do. Sometimes forget that I'm recording, and I know that the diddy-do sounds don't sound very professional. So, that's all. As I'm looking at have I uploaded the thing? Yes, Audio 9 uploaded. And this one took 41 minutes. So I'll say adios. And I'll try and take the lock off and then say adios.